Hey, greetings, bless up. This is Shaman. And today I have a little bit of discussion with you about breeding incompetence. We are a nation and a world of people that communicate in the code language of Western allopathic medicine. We're breeding incompetent people, hormonally and sexually deranged people, gender deranged people. And by that, I don't mean to hate on any people, but your entire food system, bless up, Zuri, has been to target specific types of behaviors and reactions in people. Now, I was just in a session with a client, and I mentioned to them that I was taking out the recycle. I was recycling a glass juice bottle. I use mason jars, and I also use, I love glass straws. And I also use recycled glass containers. And as I was taking it out, I got a little cut here on my arm. You can see it, it's healed up quite a bit. And I mentioned to her that I had taken my son and another young man to the Twin Cities, bless up everyone. I had taken these two young men, 19 and 22, to the Twin Cities with me last strong. And the young man who's 19, big, strong guy, had gotten 5 scratches, and he said, I need about 5 Band-Aids. I said, get out of here. You don't need 5 Band-Aids. What you need to do is wash it up real quick with a little soap and water if you need to, and let the air get to it, unless you've got, a lot of blood loss or something like that, or you're working around chemicals. We are too quick to slap on a Band-Aid, to run to the doctor, the allopathic Western medical doctor, and to get drugged, get it cut out of us, get it killed out of us. The patriarchal, Eurocentric language, and you can see it on the billboards when I drive by and I go out of town. We'll come on in here, we'll kill it, we'll conquer it, we'll destroy it. This is a plantation that feeds on domination, continuous domestication, and it relies upon feeding you chemicals. When you eat these chemicals, whether you eat a candy bar or you go to Holiday or 7-Eleven or Mini Mart or any of these little convenience stores, and you pop in there and you're hungry, and we've all been in this situation, and you grab yourself a burrito or a tornado. What are they called? They're torpedoes. They're like this thing that's rolling around on this hot grill. And you eat these things. They're made out of a German Nazi manufactured bread, B-R-E-D, wheat, so that it's easy for the farmer to, take care of these very short crops. But the wheat, all the wheat that you're getting today is actually doing something to you, which is causing your gut a lot of distress. It makes the gut bleed, and it makes you sick. This inflammation creates these protein aggregates, is what the medical industry calls Parkinson's disease, synucleoids. Okay? These protein aggregates that just came out of nowhere didn't just come out of nowhere. So my job, what I do with people, is constantly being looked at with skepticism. Oh, she must be a quack. Or even when I write on Quora, and I've given almost 1,600 answers free of my heart, sometimes people come back and say, oh gosh, you're just a money grubber, you're just a quack, you're whatever. We don't make a lot of money. Legitimate, real shamans. We are helping people, and we're researching during the week like I am for my client with Parkinson's right now. I don't get paid for those hours. I don't get paid for materials I buy extra to study. I do them because it's what I want to do, and it's what I love to do, and it's my job-born gift. So even when I speak with the elders today and I say, what's the situation? It's multiple myeloma. It's blah, 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 globbity gook, We don't even understand anymore the common language, which is this eye is twitching and, I have ringing in my ear and I have whatever. By the time you go to your doctor, they will give you an umbrella code that now, hi, I'm so-and-so and I have, and then you become stuck with that diagnostic. Now, if you do know the truth and you're on the plantation, you tend to become a terrorized individual, or someone who's constantly looked at with skepticism because it's just common sense. It's just common sense. Do I need to put a Band-Aid on this because I've got a cut? No. In fact, what I did was I laid in a bath with some Epsom salt last night before my last client, and I let it soak, and the salt will heal the wound. I grew up learning that if you gargle with salt water, it will help to heal your throat, your gums. But today you go to the doctor and they say no salt. You go to your expensive center to recuperate yourself, rejuvenate yourself. You pay thousands of dollars. It's the fast food of disciplining yourself, healing yourself. People need to know the basics again. They need to know that we always healed ourselves. We didn't go in and get checked. Now, if something happens to you and you don't go get checked, people are quick to jump on the legalism bandwagon. What's wrong with you? Why didn't you get checked? That's totally irresponsible. And they've immediately got a knee-jerk reaction to you're not going in and getting checked. So in order to keep the herd, to keep the plantation going well, we got to keep people going in there and getting checked because these are experiments in motion. Most of you have all had vaccines injected inside of you. You're all living with smart meters tucked on the sides of your homes. Most of you grew up, because your parents and grandparents were seduced to reduce. So they all were, sucking on something meant for a baby cow, products made for, out of mammary gland fluid, breast milk from cow to cow, and you're not a cow. It's pretty simple. So if you stick to the plant world, you'll be just fine. All the inflammation goes away, the ear ringing goes away, the rashes, the cysts, the fibrin, all these things go away. And then if you add on iodine and minerals and sleep, and we take down some of the stress levels that we all have in the world today due to the craziness, then you start to see through, wait a minute, this politician type thing is a big joke. The TV is a joke. It's really programming me. And now you got more than enough time to study if you're not scrolling on that phone all the time. So we are breeding incompetent people who have to get their hair done. I see you with your dreadlocks. I see you posing with all your sweet things all the time. You're not focusing enough on your health. You're focusing more on your package, okay? Put on some clean clothes. You don't have to manicure your dreadlocks. You don't. You don't have to go get your hair dyed. You don't have to get your fingernails done. They're just fine. These are your solar panels. I've been teaching this for 30 years. You don't have to shave your underarms. You can trim them with a scissor. You don't have to run and get checked because you're getting dizzy. You're getting dizzy because you're full of yeast. You're getting dizzy because you either had alcohol or ice cream or a lot of sugar or a bunch of wheat the night before, and you're full of candida. You're full of yeast in your body. We are losing the ability to know ourselves, to heal ourselves, to pass down wisdom generation after generation if all we do is seek information, if all we seek is entertainment, if all we do is surrender all of our self-knowledge and all of our personal power by running into the doctor and having them tell you what's wrong with you. What I do is all common sense. Common sense. I've watched people, I've observed them to detoxify. I see what breaks out on their eye. things that happen to their ear. I see the liver and spleen lines, okay? I can see the creases, the cardio creases on the ear. I can see how they're walking outside on the ground, their footing. If you're tripping on stuff or you're telling me, well, I mean, I don't know, it doesn't kind of really matter to me what happens to the animals, and I know you're disconnected. You're disconnected from life. Don't tell me about how connected you are, how conscious you are. Don't tell me how spiritual and brilliant your friends are. Because if they don't know first how to care, feed, and heal themselves, I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You got to know how to move your movement, your daily habits. This is what I learned from Rastafari elders in the 70s, and I believed it. I believed it when they told me, Peter Tosh said, get rid of the tell-a-lie. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I should probably do that. When my mother brought home the microwave, in the 1970s, she brought home the microwave. I said, I don't want anything to do with that. I don't like it, right? When Miss Ross told me about slavery and told me about the horrors of what people do, I listened. I cried and I said, whoa, we have to do something about this. When I see people come and tell me they have this hemochromatosis, this cancer, this prostate, this diabetes, this lupus, this myasthenia gravis, this psoriasis, this eczema, it don't matter. I've taken care of all of them with myself and with other people. So once I am able to get into a place where I can help to train up other people to just remember the common sense again, when they can be around someone else who's walked it, and yes, it's scary. It's scary when your body detoxifies because you're afraid to trust your own self anymore. You're afraid to trust your own self. Don't ask me, well, this is myeloma. Well, this is grava-greeby. This is groovy-grabber. I mean, they're going to come out with a new name every day and a new drug and a new 5 more drugs that match it. This is called slap a Band-Aid on it business. If you can go in there and they can inject you with an extremely toxic dye and put you in their scanning machine and fry you and radiate you and cryosurgery, freeze you, cauterization, burn it off of you, cut it out of you, mustard gas it out of you, you got to finally wake up and say, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to take a brand new baby, not brand new, I can't stand it when people say that, actually, cancel, to take a newborn human, a baby, a newborn puppy, a canine, and take them to the veterinarian so they can inject a bunch of crap inside of them. No, I'm going to take that puppy and I'm going to throw it into the dog park and let it pick up all the germs and antibodies so it can manifest its own immune system. And people are going to look at me like I'm the irresponsible one. But I'm the one that they brought little Sarge, Tim, up north here, brought little Sarge to press a Canario, and he said, I'm either going to shoot him behind the barn or you can have him, shaman. Why don't you prove your worth? And I said, woof, can't really take on another responsibility right now. This is a couple of years ago. Right here in this house. I put him in a kennel. I got him on a raw food diet. I got him on top-notch probiotics. I had to go and get him a Durantal, which is $20 because he had tapeworm. His gut was extremely huge, and I knew he wouldn't live long enough for me. So in that case, I had to run out and get that. That's what has been created on the plantation, is the mutation. Now, before we go, Lyme's disease is a morphological, biological warfare weapon. There's no real such thing as Lyme's disease. That's another container. It's a parasite, a virus, and a bacteria. It can morph and adjust inside of you, and so it has a really good chance of survival. It's another experiment being used upon you. So are the vaccines, so are all of these other diagnoses that you're talking about. So when I take my time to write you back, and say, first we got to take them off the wheat. Now we've got to do this. Now we've got to do this step. This is what I do through the video consultation or in person, is we go step by step in a fun, friendly way. But you're being seduced to reduce. Now, if all you speak is the code language, you've got problems. You cannot just tell me, I have this or I have that. As I was speaking with a client last night, I had a session at 8:30, and I really recommend these glass straws, by the way. I had a client at 8:30, and I absolutely love her. I respect her. I've helped her before. I said, you don't have lupus. You have a lifestyle illness. You wanted to go back to this lifestyle, and that lifestyle isn't going to sustain you. Just like the lifestyle we're living right now, getting your nails done, doing all these tweaky things with your hair. I have not had no maintenance on my hair for 3.5 years, okay? I had help starting them. It's my third set. I wouldn't do that again. I would go totally freeform again, way better. I don't have to go in and get maintenance, so I have perfect rolls coming out of my head. I like it a little fuzzy. It's okay. Okay? Put your energy into care and your daily movement first. Make your juice. Get your chores done. Do what you need to do before you need to get it done. Okay? Keep your space clean. Keep your movement right. And you won't be so frustrated. You don't have to get checked for everything. The more you learn to know thyself and be thy own physician, and that is what I teach. I'm not a teacher, but what I impart to people in guidance is that I don't create a dependency upon me. The dentist does, the vet does, the doctor does, all these specialist doctors do. I do not create a dependency upon me with my clients. I give them knowledge so they can know thyself and heal thyself. And I tell them the truth. The Eurocentric ways, the misogynist ways, looking at the Mother Earth as a commodity is a losing proposition. Wake up and live, okay? I love you. Mwah. Make it a beautiful day. I'm off.